Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Or hello, the one. Hussein says, hello, sir. 19 male India. How are you? Thank you very much, Hussein. How are you, dear? This must be early morning, is it? No, it's probably 1 o'clock in the afternoon in India right now, yeah? So, how's your Sunday going? I thought I'll have a short visit with you guys. I had my almost 9 kilometer walk tonight already. So I came home, made some tea, and thought I'd chat with you guys for a bit before I do some more work and eventually hit the sack. Yeah. I think you are 13 hours ahead, yeah? So it's 107 over there sometime. So, what's new, Hussein? Why are you here? It was actually a tornado warning tonight in Vancouver. And on the sea walk, it was quite windy and somewhat raining, but it didn't blow me away. So I didn't become Dorothy in Kansas. There was no tornado. It was fun. It was, okay. 6 or 7 degrees. Not too warm, not too cold either, but it was crispy. Hussein says, sir, how you keep yourself motivated? This question keeps coming now and then from people. And it's always questioned for me why people actually ask this. Why do you have to be motivated? We are here as a living being, and we're supposed to accomplish something. We're supposed to bring comfort to our lives, provide for ourselves and possibly somebody else or a family, accomplish certain tasks, learn certain things that we want to learn in order to be able to become wiser and more experienced and handle challenges of life head on with more, uh, you know, um, power and um, wisdom and knowledge, perseverance. So, what is it with the fact that being motivated is a problem? It's only a problem if you're depressed, if you're afraid, if you have anxiety, if you're worried about something, which these are all mental issues. Otherwise, you shouldn't have to be pumped up every day in order to do what it is actually beneficial and gold and good for you. You want to have a better life. You want to have more money. You want to have more wisdom, more education, more experience, better job, and accomplish important tasks and be a better human being and do whatever it is that you can do for other human beings around in and around the world. You want that. Isn't that one of the biggest purposes of life? To be here and contribute to the society and community, to the world, the universe, and nature as a whole, be part of this harmony of the nature. And to do that, there are certain motivations that we need. So that's supposed to be a natural state of us human beings in this world to go through this journey. Why is it supposed to have an excuse to be motivated? Our whole livelihood and providing the basics of life needs efforts and energy and planning and activities. And that should be the motivation to eat, to be comfortable, to be safe, to create a better lifestyle. That's the motivation. What else do we need? Is somebody supposed to come and give me some money to be motivated to do something that is good for me? I got to know if I don't do it, nobody's going to help me. Nobody's going to give a damn about what I'm going through. That's my motivation. I don't want anybody to have to feel sorry for me, or I have to ask somebody. I got to be able to do it myself. So I'm motivated to be independent. Hold on to that. That's my answer for you until I turn this light on. All right. So you don't have to be in love to be motivated. You don't have to want to go out with this girl or have that car to be motivated to go and do something that brings you money and so on. You got to just think that motivation is part of the recipe for success and for comfort and for a safer and smoother journey in this life, because nobody else is going to give you the stuff that you think you need for this on this journey. You're going to pack up your stuff, your backpack, food, water, clothing, gears, and things that you need to negotiate the roads, whatever it is, and however it is that you're taken to travel on. So that's your motivation, to be prepared. You don't know what's going to happen in this world. Nobody's going to give a damn about you. Look at today's governments that supposedly to be taking care of you. They're all out for our necks and come up with all these tyrannical rules and taking all our freedoms away. Would you want to have had more of a financial abilities and comfort and safety in order to be able to withstand longer of all these tyrannical rules and, you know, intrusions to your democracy and your freedom of choice and rights? Any way you look at it, motivation is all around you. Just being alive is a motivation. To stay healthy is your motivation. What do you have to do for that? You got to do lots of things. And to learn, to become wiser, to be able to be more knowledgeable about things, to negotiate this life, to know more about what's happening in this world. All of these are your motivations. You got to have that to make life a little bit easier for yourself. Bibi Lulu. Bibi Lulu says, hello. Hello, Bibi Lulu. And don't forget, give me the info, guys. None of you have. Only Hussein did. 19, male, India. And everywhere you see, says, hello, Mayron, 25, male, Ethiopia. Hello, dear. Bibi Lulu, I need your credentials, please. And Lucky Dude, you too as well. Hussein says, thank you so much. You're quite welcome, Hussein. Put it to work. You don't need motivation. You are the motivation. Your plans are motivation. Your comfort, your lifestyle is your motivation. You don't need excuses to have a better life. That is a prime directive to bring about all the things that are important to us: health, growth, knowledge, wisdom, education, career, finances. These are all motivations all around you. You don't need anything else. Go to it, my friend. Prepare from now, from at this age. Everywhere you see says, hello, Mayron. How do you forgive someone that hurts you deeply? Why do you need to forgive her? Don't forget, guys, I need to know your credentials, age, gender, where you're tuning in from. I don't remember, and I wouldn't know from your thumbnails or screen name, even though I know you've been here before. Why do you need to forgive someone? What does it do for you? You feel big? I forgive you. Who gives a shit? You forgive them or not. If they're qualified and meet your standards, behave properly, treat you well, you can trust them, they're loyal to your friendship, then you keep them around. If they're not, goodbye. They've done something wrong to you, or you have to forgive them. What happens? I forgive thee. If you think they deserve another chance and you can trust them again, it's not about forgiving, it's about going on, continuing the relationship, the friendship. What is it forgiving? Like, if forgiving is based on the conditioning you received in childhood that this is good, this is bad, this person has done this to me, so therefore it's against what I've been trained, or my the conditioning of my consciousness, my culture, and the rituals. So now, in order to accept a person who has gone against what I'm conditioned to consider not good, I have to come up with a loophole. I forgive you. Well, you should do some wrong or not. If it did, can you live with it? Can you compromise? Can you figure it out and talk about it and become better, individuals? Well, go on. But if you can't, but I forgive you. What does that mean? You forgive because some kind of a deity you have created in your mind with your own thoughts that is watching you and is giving you pointers that you've been a good boy, you've forgiven that person who did bad to you. So you are in good part of my book now. All that bullshit. Forgive or no forgive. You can't forget what they've done. So what's the forgiving? If you forgive them, you still remember what they've done. So what's that whole scenario, narrative? I forgive you. Okay, now I have an excuse to take you back because I have forgive you. It's all you. So you take them back. You don't. The forgiveness in here is just kind of a decorative shit. That's what I think about it, anyhow. Um, Endelegan is a salam muallim. 24 May, London. Thank you for that. Says, found out ex got engaged. Okay, so well, you're still in the pants of the ex? Come out of there. Come out of that shit. She got engaged. She farted today. She ate this. She went there. I saw her picture. She's laughing. She's happy. Who gives a fuck? Move on. Says, I know someone else is out there for me who is better. Thank you very much. Yeah, well, you should stop looking up what the hell she's doing or not doing. Who gives a fuck what she ate, who fucked with, and where she went and all that? Let her go. Anyhow. We have Dosti says, hello, Mayron. How you doing today, big friend? Thank you, Dosti. I just had a about 9 kilometer walk in the tornado warning weather by the sea. And here I am. I have my tea here. And Lucky Dude's a 17-year-old from India. Thank you for that. Dosti, you forgot to do the credential thing. I don't remember age and gender and all that. And Tombstone 888 says, hey, how's it going, Mayron? Merson, thank you for that. Merson, change my name. I know A and S are close by on the typing sheet. Yeah, you corrected, Mayron. Why don't you give me your age, gender, and where you're tuning in from, Tombstone? What's the name? What the hell is that? Tombstone 888. And will you be talking about OCD in this live? You can ask a question by all means. Lucky Dude says, sir, 17-year-old boy from southern India. How to differentiate between guilt and OCD? Give me an example, because you can't put them in the same category. Guilt is for something you think you're guilty of, but there is a subset of OCD that is guilt OCD. But I don't know if you mean that or you just mean the concept of feeling guilty about something and having an OCD to feel guilty. It's two different things. Sometimes you don't have to have an OCD, but you feel guilty about something. Well, you You feel because you are guilt, so you feel guilty. You have a good conscience and you feel guilty. And you haven't resolved it, so you feel guilty. But if it's an OCD that you have to feel guilty, you have to take responsibility, this also falls in the category of responsibility OCD. That you think you're responsible if you do something wrong that it could harm other people, and you don't want to be responsible to cause any damage or danger or negative uh, outcome to somebody else or something, a property or a human being or a dog or anything that a harm could come from your actions to them. Responsibility OCD. Leo Diaz. Leo, where's your gender, age, where you tuning in from? None of that is here. So from now on, honestly, I'm spending too much time constantly asking for this. I'm not going to ask for it. Whoever doesn't have the credentials, I'm just not going to read his questions or her question. Just going to pass by because I have said it enough. Please include your age, gender, where you are tuning in from, brackets, country / city, in every and all your comments and communications. But damn it, if I don't see that, I won't answer. Tired of that shit. All right, there it is. And Leo says, male 34, Los Angeles. Los Angeles. Thank you very much for that. Was that too hard? Okay, now I put it out there. Leo says, I moved to California for a girl 5 years ago. Things we don't do for girls. From Washington, D.C. Okay, at least you came to good weather. She broke up with me 3 months when I arrived 5 years ago because I did not have a car. Holy macaroni. Jesus, what kind of a shithead was that? Didn't you figure her out before you made that move? 34 years old. 5 years ago, you were 29 years old. You were still old enough to be able to gauge people before you actually select them as if they are qualified or not. It looks like you were only thinking with your dick, nothing else. You weren't thinking about who she is, what character she has, what conditioning she has received in the content of her consciousness. You weren't thinking about bonding unconsciously with her. You were infatuated with probably her boobs, ass, legs, or whatever it is that turned you on. That's no basis of making a decision, especially a decision to move your whole home and household to another state, thousands of kilometers away, miles away. You made a mistake. You could have gone there for about a few months to check her out, see how it goes, then decide to move. But you simply prematurely decided that your desire for pleasure and your infatuation with her sexuality or your interest in what it is that you would gain by being near her trumps your right to gauge her and qualify her to begin with and beforehand. You fucked up. Now you learned. I guess you learned something. So, says, because, okay, I haven't been able to get over this. You haven't? It's not on her. If someone is an asshole and low life, it's not your problem. Your mistake is that you made a premature decision before you investigate enough. You didn't give yourself enough credit You thought she's better than you because you had a need. You approached her with a need and desire for something you wanted from her, which we know what it was. And you didn't go any further from that, and you didn't give yourself any right to measure her up and decide about her. You simply said, because she's got something that I want, she's better than me. So if she accepts me, allows me, then I'll go. Boom, gone. Yet, she's one of these bullshit girls that is looking for what you got. How she can say, oh, this guy loves me and he came here from Washington and he has a car and he has a house and he has this, buys me this. That kind of a girl mentality is worth shit. And if you fell for that, then you fucked up. And take responsibility for that instead of thinking, oh, she's better. I can't get over it. Why can't you get over it? You can't get over the fact that you fucked up and you stepped into dog shit when you were walking in the street, and you can't get over that why my shoes got shitty. Well, you stepped in it because you didn't open your fucking eyes to watch where you're going. When something is shit, you got to throw it out. That shoes that went on the dog poo, you can't clean it. You got to throw it out. This thing too. You came here, you saw that she's full of shit, you got to throw her out. That's how you should think of her, because that's her actuality. But instead, you're seeing her with the eye of desire, the eye of the sexual interest and infatuation. You can't even see her as she is because of her behavior and the way she's treated you, her mentality and her bullshit mentality. Instead, you're still seeing her as the sexuality that you didn't get to fulfill yourself with it. That's what pissing you off. But if you had with her, for a while and you had said, okay, I did this several times and it's not a big deal now, then you wouldn't be kicking yourself. You probably didn't have enough of that, whatever you came for. So get over it. In California, so many beautiful girls. What the fuck do you want with some idiot who behaves that way? Move on. Don't come up with excuses to hang in there. Open your eyes, see all the other opportunities and qualified women, educated, with careers, with manners and morals and some, gray matter up here that works well, then live your life. What the fuck do you want? This world's ass has opened up and she's fallen here, and unless you're with her, she approves of you. You don't think you're good enough because she said you don't have a car. Well, how come she doesn't have a car? That's okay, but you don't have a car. That's a problem. But fuck her. Let her go. Have respect for yourself. I'm tired of this kind of a bullshit pussy mentality that you guys are just all over yourself because she said you don't have enough money, you don't have a car, you don't have this, you didn't buy me this. Well, why should I? Go fucking work and buy it yourself. If you behave properly, and if I have the money, if we work it together and we build something together and we get money, then we can buy ourselves stuff that we want. Otherwise, what do you think I am? A bank? That's how you should think. So hope that's enough. Don't piss me off now. It's late at night. Leo. All right. Tombstone says, I'm a male 18 from US and live, and I've been struggling with intense intrusive thoughts and images of the past months. And I've got to say, this is the worst I've experienced yet. And I just found out about your channel a couple of weeks ago, and I've been watching your OCD playlist for the past days. But I feel like I still need more advice. If you watch the videos, I don't know if you've completed them because there are a few hundred, and you still want to, need more advice, then please go ahead on my site. And have you watched the links of the well-known psychologists and psychotherapists that I've included in the description of my OCD and other subsets of OCD playlists? If you have watched all those and you still need some advice, well, you're more than welcome to go on my site, mindthatseekstruth.com. Mindthatseekstruth.com. And make a Skype appointment for us to discuss what's concerning you one on one on Skype. If you make a 1 hour appointment, I will throw in another hour for new clients. And initially, at that appointment, we'll have 2 hours to get to know and explore the topic and discuss what's concerning you one on Skype. There it is. That's the link to my site. And these sort of things cannot be really discussed in 2 minutes because they're going to be back and forth and detail and interaction between us that is necessary for me to see where you are and then share with you the things that is relevant to your situation and help you to kind of get out of the mud that you parked your car and sitting in there and think there's no way out. There is. Easy. At least when you learn what the science of it is and then what the causes are, and then you learn how to behave toward these intrusive thoughts, and then eventually you rewire your brain and you know how to handle it and you manage it, and then you live rather than being scared. Aman says, male 20, India, says how to get over self-consciousness while around girls. So I told you, we talked about it last time. Why you keep asking the same question? Come on. Watch the other video. And Chester Sid, oh my goodness, where the hell have you been? From my homeland, Hawaii. May 28th, Hawaii. Hello, Chester. Says, aloha, Mayron. Aloha, Chester, dear. Long time no see, he says. He says, hope you're doing well. I'm doing great. I've been busy with the hospital due to the increase of the cases. Today is my day off. Glad I could be here. Well, I'm delighted that you could make it here. I'm happy that you're busy with work, not necessarily for the, I'm not happy for people being in difficulty, but happy that you're happy with your work. And glad that you could make it here and the sound from home. Tombstone 888 says, so you're saying that if I schedule an appointment for an hour, you will throw in another hour free of charge. Yes, that's what I said. For new clients who schedule an hour appointment, and it doesn't matter where it is, because on the schedule, you may not find what works for you. So it just doesn't matter. Choose any day or date or time for your 1 hour consultation. And then on Skype, before we have our meeting, we will hash it out when it works for you, what available times I have, and then we will work it out to work for both of us. And then we'll settle on a time and date. And then when we start, I will add another hour. So we'll have 2 hours on that very session, not split it to different time or days. And then we'll have enough time to explore. And where are you from, Tombstone? I don't think you said that you U.S. Yeah, what part of U.S.? I want to know the time zone. Which province? Which states are you in? It's going to be hot. Dosti says, male 21, Netherlands. Thank you for that. It says, last year I were in a very bad mood with HOCD. With help from your psychiatrist, from my psychiatrist and medicine, I'm feeling very good for the last few months. Okay, good. And Tombstone says, okay, perfect. I look forward to meeting with you soon, for sure. Let me know, Tombstone, which states you're in. California. Oh, that's easy then. Same time zone. So that would be easy. I have a number of clients from California, and that's arranging time is very easy because we're all in the same time zone. All right. Let's see who else we have here. I'll be here with you guys for another 30 minutes. that would be the length of my discussion or allocation of time for this live stream. And that would be it. So if there's anything you want to chat about, well, these are not my sponsors. It just happens that I buy my supplements from there, and then when you spend about an hour, spend about $100, you get a T-shirt. So I've spent many hundreds of dollars. I've got, I don't know, 10 T-shirts. Two of them I'm wearing tonight, one over the other, because it was windy and I didn't want to wear too much, but not, So I had my windbreaker jacket on and these two. And so they happen to be here, but they're not sponsoring me, so I'm not. Maybe they should. Chester says, Mayron, how do you approach a woman in public? Depends how you approach her. You got to make sure she won't end up slapping you in the face or call the police. So very carefully. My answer to that, how you approach a woman in public, is very carefully and from front face. So there would be no misunderstanding of scaring her. Say, like, how to introduce yourself to her and ask her on a date for lunch or coffee without sounding like a creep. I need some advice from my life coach. Well, fair enough. But I got to know a little bit about, have you met her yet, or you have not met her at all? I guess it's, you say introduce. That means you see a girl, you like her, and you're worried about if you lose the chance and never see her again. So you want to get up and go. Well, there is one direct, bold way, and then there is the indirect ways. For my age and my experience, because I don't give a shit anymore, I would just get up, go to her, and introduce myself and say, my name is this, and I saw you from where I was sitting, and I thought it's just inspiring if I have the chance to get to know you and I can introduce myself to you. My name is this, if you haven't said it at the beginning. And she will obviously, with this approach and positive and non-serious thing, she will say her name and say, so in this wonderful weather here, hopefully it's wonderful, what are you doing here? May I invite you for some tea or coffee that perhaps you can, wait there for whatever it is you're waiting, or maybe we can have a conversation then, that would be a spice of the day, for me at least. Simple. You don't have to freak out. The reason it's difficult for guys to go to a girl and call on a girl when you see her, because you want a conclusion for that approach. You want something. You want to get her phone number. You want to hold her hands. You want to hold her. You want to kiss her. You want to have sex with her someday in the future. You want something. Even though you may want it in your heart, but you should not go there because you want to bring fruition to what you desire. You just got to go there because you're inspired. You're encouraged. You want to show your appreciation without being too, mushy about it. So stand up straight and go there and say what I said in that sort of thing, short. And if she says, well, I have a boyfriend, or I'm not interested, so okay, that was still, I appreciate the chance that I've had a opportunity to introduce myself to you. You're most welcome to join me should you change your mind. Then move back and sit your ass on your chair and look some other direction and have your tea or coffee or sandwich, whatever it is you're doing. That's it. And if you're not sitting somewhere and you're standing somewhere, when you go there and you talk to her and it doesn't work out, don't turn around and go backward. Continue onward to the direction that you came, pass her by as if you were going somewhere, and just go. Don't turn around and go back. Continue forward going. Hmm? Or just go about, 20, 30 meter, like 60 feet away or 50 feet away, 40 feet away, and sit down somewhere if you had planned, sunny day or something, and take your sandwich out and start eating it. Don't look at her again. Look at her somewhere else. She may still come and sit with you or may not, but at least you've had a good exit. All right. All right. There's nothing to fear about. She says, no, the hell with it. She lost her chance. Don't give a shit. It's not like the end of the world. But if you think it is the end of the world, then you'll have a hard time to approach her and hard time to take it if she turns you down. But turning it down, it's part of our life. We are men. We're designed to be rejected. And that's fine. We get. No worries. Pallvi is from India, 31, female India. Says, hi, Mayron. How do you stay happy and jovial every day? Doesn't the pandemic and staying indoors get to you? No, because I don't stay indoor. And in my opinion, this pandemic, in most part, of course, there is some kind of a thing happening. Of course, it's dangerous, and everybody should maybe take the precautions. But it's what it is. But it's mostly a high degree of bullshit in there that we all know why they're doing what they're doing. Otherwise, you just got to do what you got to do. Still got to have your exercise. Still got to go have fresh air. And when you don't have to, don't wear this goddamn thing when you're alone by yourself because it's just freaky, stupid, and brainwashing yourself. So then you don't create a certain kind of atmosphere where you would be conditioning yourself to live in fear. Because there's so many scientists are saying different things about this whole thing that the governments are saying. So take everything with a grain of salt and do your own research and figure out how things are. And so, what other choice do we have other than being positive and energetic in any situation? You know, that's the best way to handle things when things are tough. You got to be at your best energy, do meditate and do exercise and plan for your future and be happy with little things, small things. Don't wait for big things to happen to be happy, just little things. This tea makes me happy. Watching something that I like makes me happy. Doing some research, making a video and helping some people, that makes me happy. Little things, small things. And says, especially when we can't meet new people like we used to. Yeah, that's a big problem. That every one of us feel it. I mean, our circle of new possibilities are shortened. But that's the whole idea in order to take away all your pleasures and opportunities, in order to squeeze you to a situation, to promise you that what you're missing and you can't have right now, which they caused you not having it, they forced you not be able to enjoy what was naturally yours. In order to have it now, you got to do what we tell you. You got to shove this thing here, or tomorrow another thing here, and another thing here, another thing here, and everything. Suddenly you become the puppet of listening to what they say. And that is the whole idea, to control you. They're using this serious illness that is hitting many people as an excuse to control you. Take the things away, put a fear into your heart, take your freedom away, and then say, now, if you want it back, what belongs to you, they took away. If you want it back, you got to do what we tell you. Who the hell are you guys? Oh, we're the ones who are supposedly hired by you. You're paying, your tax dollars paying us, but we're going to tell you what you can have or cannot have. And people of the world, out of fear, out of the fact that they've been brainwashed for years to trust the authorities and leave the decision making to the stupid politicians, they believe them. They're conditioned to believe authorities, even when the authorities outright lying because of other mandate that they have. So Says, I miss going outside and meeting new people. Yeah, me too, really, honestly. I mean, I love to go to a party and meet, other people and, you know, mostly, new people and um, get to know them and enjoy myself being social in socializing. That's all been taken away. I can't even go to the gym. Luckily, I have other options to do my workout, but not everybody does. And these are inhuman criminal behavior that every year we had such illnesses in different ways and different names, but suddenly this one is giving them excuse to force us to do many things in order to get what we actually are entitled, have always been entitled to have. So, it says, and I feel less motivated since then and can't go out. I feel lost as to what I want from life. Yeah, this is the cause that they've created with all these stuff. They've brought depression to people, anxiety to people, sadness to people. I can't even go see my mom in nursing facilities because you got to be having at least two of these things here before you can go. So I haven't seen my mom for a long time. See, these are all terrible, terrible um, behaviors, no different than communism or fascism. And so, unfortunately, the countries that have been beacon of democracy have turned their back on their people, and we now have this kind of a behavior, unlawful behavior towards people. And I hope that people will not comply and eventually force the governments to behave, legally force the government by non-compliance, civil disobedience to bring the law of the land back in its full force rather than being used and abused by certain entities. And Chester says, thanks, Mayron. Learning Mayron pickup artist lesson 101. Mayron equal Sigma May. Well, if you're not afraid of the opponent, then you'll feel strong, and you will also represent yourself as a strong entity in front of the opponent, which they would respect. But that would be a strength with care and love. And Chester, thank you for the super chat of $5 super chat for the channel. Says, I don't know if I'm off on Thanksgiving, but there's a little gift for your funds on dry mangoes and hot tea. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, definitely it's time for a dried mango again. I haven't had it for a long time. For a while, I used to have fresh mangoes, but then I got tired of, getting them, washing them, and cleaning. Sometimes I'm lazy. So I guess it's time for a dried mango again. Thank you, Chester. And we have Pallvi says, thank you, Mayron. Glad to know I'm not alone. Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. And Chuckster says, 37 Male, Pennsylvania. The clocks went back tonight, didn't they? Yeah, they did. So we have 1 extra hour to sleep. So what is it right now? It's about to become midnight. So, and Chuckster says, I bet the guys miss meeting. Oh, you're talking with Pallvi. Yeah, okay. Um, Judah Jensen says, thank you for speaking on this need to be said. Wish everyone would take a second to think about it. Yeah, I agree with you. And well, guys, it's 48 minutes. I'll be here another 12 minutes. And so we'll see if there's any more questions. Okay. Chuckster says, you missed my comment under my question, Mayron. I wanted to hear you say this. See, where? What? What'd you say? Under your comment, under your comment, you said the clocks went back tonight, didn't they? I said, yeah. And then you said, you're talking to Pallvi, not me, so there's nothing else there. I don't see any more comment. Chuck's there. Says, you missed my comment under my question. Did I? You said, Chuck's there, 37 Male, Pennsylvania. The clocks went back tonight, didn't they? Yes. Then you say, I bet guys miss meeting you. That's to Pallvi. And then you say, you miss my comments under my question. What the hell is wrong with you? What's wrong with you? It's so lovely when you look at when I'm having my tea and I can see my hometown. Wow. It's so relaxing when I see the loveliest place on earth, in my views, Hawaii. That's my adopted homeland. I love Hawaii. I just love Hawaii. The energy of Hawaii always with me. I communicate with it. Honestly, there's something wrong with me. Pallvi says the glass view is great. Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's so peaceful. Like at the same time, as soon as I want to drink tea, which I love, I also see, oh, I'm drinking tea at the ocean in Hawaii, by the beach. Oh my goodness. And this is right beyond these rocks, called Black Rocks. Right beyond it is my favorite beach. It's shallow, it's beautiful. And about 20 years ago, 21, 22 years ago, my son and I found it, discovered it ourselves. Nobody was there. Nobody, not too many people knew it. Maybe 4 or 5 or 10 people max every time we went there. But now, lots of people know it. Still, they don't go there that often, but it's lots of people. It's a beautiful beach. Um, Judah says, how to best deal with intrusive thoughts. I find running to be very helpful. But yeah, physically you're running, but that doesn't stop the movement of the mind. So you must understand the trick with intrusive thought is not to try to stop it. Hmm? You first got to understand what is thinking, then to understand how you can stop thoughts. What are the ways? Hmm? And that discussion brings you to be more aware of the movement of the psyche, movement of thoughts in the real estate of consciousness, and knowing how thought is born, and knowing that you're the ocean and thoughts are like the ships that appear on the ocean. But you got to let them pass, not hang on to them. Oh, there's a thought. There's a ship. Let me see what's got in it. When you don't give a shit what the ship's got in it, that means you don't give a shit what the content of the thought is. You just allow the thought to be and allow the thought to go. You don't interact with it. When you don't interact and exchange with it, it doesn't get energy from you. So it withers and dies. But you give it attention, it lightens up as if you are giving it light to live. So ignoring it will make it wither and die or disappear or reduce in its activities. There are lots to it that we can't go into it for another hour or so, but they've got all kind of videos on it that you can search on my the search engine of my channel and find them and enjoy them. Or again, you can make an appointment with me on Skype, and then we can discuss a specific that is concerning you. And Documentary World says Kia ora, oh, from New Zealand, Kia ora, dear. 29 New Zealand male says, come visit New Zealand when the borders open up. Yes, but at the moment, when I used to think the New Zealand Prime Minister was such an amazing person for some reasons a few years ago, now I can see she's not what we thought. She's being very tyrannical and insensitive to democracy and freedom of selection and choices. And the interviews that I've seen from her is not impressive. But for sure, I would love to see my fellow brothers and sisters in New Zealand to wish them wonderful health. And I hope that the world will turn normal again. We can all be free to travel and respect our rights and freedom of choice and freedom of movement. And we would need this and that, so forth, before a condition for what we want to do in our lives with ourselves. And then, of course, I'd be more than happy to travel and share what I can with people who are interested to listen. Chuckster says, I need to get hit with the stigma. You do, because you just send me for the, for a goose chase. There's nothing there, no comment you made. I looked for it. And Judah says, tips for being charismatic as well. Thanks. Okay. You're quite welcome. And Documentary World says, she's not great at all. Yeah, we recently found out. The media put her out to be amazing. Yeah, at one time, it was 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, when there was some kind of a shooting at some kind of a Muslim mosque, and some idiot, crazy person had caused that kind of a incident. And she seemed to be very civilized and very supportive of the victims and so on. So I kind of gained certain kind of a respect from the far. I didn't know enough about it, but now from her behavior in regard to this craziness that is happening, I can see she doesn't give a shit, and she's part of the criminal core and group that are doing what they're doing to the world. So yeah, she says she's not great at all. The media put her out to be amazing. Glad the truth is coming out. At least she's better than Trump. Well, you know what? That's what you probably mean. She's better than this dumb idiot who is, leader of our neighboring country. Um, because I also, at the many years ago, I thought Trump is an idiot, but now I don't think so. When I put the two and two together, it looks to me that Trump would not have jeopardized the freedom of the Americans, which in turn would be a beacon for the world to follow in many aspects, would not put it on jeopardies. The freedom of choice, freedom of movement, I would think twice in thinking that if Trump would behave the same way as this Biden guy is. This guy is a lunatic. He's just not even able to make a sentence and still leading the most powerful country on earth. And this is very dangerous. And the vice president of his is also no better. He's just another idiot in hiding, trying to put a smile, but still cooperating with the criminals who are having devious plans for the humanity. Anyhow, that's my view. But anyhow, I look forward someday the world would be normal again, like 5 years ago at least, and we could all see each other and be able to hug and hold hands and talk and have tea and converse. And documentary world says, yes, you're right. That happened in Christchurch. Now she couldn't give a crap. Example, I'm a teacher and all teachers need to be vaccinated by the 15th of November or they lose their job. Very sad. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't know how severely monitored all these programs. So it's obviously something that is discouraged from discussion. That's part of the fascism that everybody feels pressured not to say anything because it could be canceled. But I hope that you do your own research before you, commit to something as dangerous as that might be. Because there's no way out, no way back. Once you get that shit into your system, you better do your research thoroughly, independent research that is out there. And Chuckster says, I didn't mind Trump. He was pretty funny too. Well, now we can see, in the hindsight, we can see that he actually, with all the craziness or all the things that were not possibly socially acceptable, he would have done better justice to the American way of life, freedom, the freedom of choice, far better than what's happening right now. What's happening in the United States, I think, is spearheading the criminal activities against the humanity. And the puppets that we have here in this country are following the same suit. And we as Canadians are betrayed by the people that we hire them to do a job. So that's unfortunate. And we hope that democracy will prevail. People will get their rights back as it is the right, and it's in the Charter of Rights of Canada, and the law would be respected and not to be used to be disrespected. So anyhow, let's move on from political discussions to, well, he got re-elected not on its own. We have another party that betrayed Canadians and aligned with him, with the other party, so they could form a minority government. So even though this person tried to get another term of full term of forming the government, he was not successful. And unless NDP would have helped him, he could not become governor. So NDP, in my opinion, is also another culprit to be working with the criminals to take away our freedom. So, oh no, Chuckster, no offense at all. Are you kidding? We're all human beings on this earth. We're all on the same side of the world as far as democracy and freedom of movements and all our rights are concerned. We consider you guys our brothers in observing the human rights and democracy. And after all, we the people would be the ones holding the bag when these assholes calling themselves leaders end up destroying our values and rights that our forefathers in many different corners of the world in different ways fought for and died for to bring this freedom to us. And now it simply legally is taken away with law. Anyhow, let's move on to what the topic of this discussion is here. And Community World says, indeed, to rant, all finished now. Yeah, that's right. Anisha Anand says, I love her and I don't want any trouble with her. But at that moment, I was like, let's do something with a girl, something sexual or anything, but now I'm having anxiety as I am in a relationship. I really don't follow Anisha. Oh, there is one before that. It says, but I did not do anything. I don't, maybe there's another one before this. Let's see. Anisha, that's your first message. It says, but I did not do anything. I was sitting with a girl most of the time and having these random talks, not flirting, but either way, I was thinking I'm cheating on my girlfriend. Well, you probably were in your mind because you knew that you're sitting there because she's hot. And you say that you love your girlfriend, you love her, and I don't want to have any trouble with her. But at the moment, I was like, let's do something with a girl, something sexual or anything. But now I'm having anxiety as I'm in a relationship. What anxiety? What did you do? You haven't done anything. You just sit there and talk with someone, and your intrusive thoughts are causing you to feel responsible or guilty about something. Just forget it, man. It's all right. The thing is, thoughts can suggest to you something, but when you have not acted on them, that doesn't make any guilt on your side. That's what your judgment saved you, and that's what your judgment is there for, to keep you away from the ideas and suggestions that are not in your mind appropriate or called for. Like if your friend suggests something that you find it not appropriate, you will refuse it. But you can't say, just because I heard my friend say it, then I feel responsible and guilty because I heard it and I thought, oh, I thought about it to see if it's a good idea or not a good idea. Whatever. Same thing here. Thoughts are separate from action. Many kind of thoughts comes to your head, and that's fine. But your choices and your judgment about that thought to allow it to become into actuality or not, to become an action or not, that's where it's all count. Otherwise, having thoughts and intrusive or otherwise doesn't matter. So in this case, just relax and move on. It's not a big deal. Not at all. It's fine. It's normal. It's okay. These thoughts, you sit with any woman, any kind of thought could come in. But the fact that you are a gentleman or you think it through and you don't turn thoughts into action because you find it inappropriate, that's where it counts. Chuck says, let's all just go to Disney World. Yeah, correct. But first, we have to have this in order to be able to sit on the plane. Fuck that. And Judah says, Mayron 2024. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, let's see if there would be a 2024 for us Canadians, anyhow. Atif says, hey, Mayron, just saying hi from New York City 38. Thank you very much, Atif, for that. And now, guys, this is the end of our program tonight. From far away and across the oceans. West coast of Canada. Let's make it commercial a little bit. So it's this time I would say I love you all. Thank you very much for being here, giving the opportunity to share a thing or two with you. I look forward to another live streaming to discuss what's concerning you. Until then, be good to yourself and to the others. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Subscribe on my channel, visit my channel, and go through the videos that you might be interested in. Mind@seekstruth.com, making it one step away to talk to me one-on-one on Skype and discuss what's concerning you. I'll talk to you soon. But we too, like the iceberg, have 1,000 times bigger powers that is not visible, and we must. Why? Is it something we're rambling on and I expect you to accept it? Or is there actually another power within us? Would you come and help me out? Okay. What I want you to do is put your hands underneath my arms and just lift me up. There we go. Okay, now, that's my physical part, right? Same thing, again, with that. Just want to see if there's any difference. Go ahead. Now, go ahead. Now, this, go ahead, when you're ready.
Go ahead.
So you see, this is different than what he was doing, and I'm not really doing anything. You convinced?
Yeah.
So are you guys convinced that there is something other than, thank you. Thank you very much.